Hey everyone, this is Elad from Astrolabe Diagnostics, and today I would like to talk about the Labeling Strategies tab in the Astrolabe app. One of the benefits of using Astrolabe is that the platform automatically identifies the different cell subsets in your experiment based on your panel, based on the antibodies that you use, and labels cells accordingly. In other words, annotating the single cells based on T cells, B cells, and other subpopulations. In order to review the decisions that Astrolabe has done, the platform includes a tab called Labeling Strategies that shows you the different steps that the algorithm has taken. So here is one example, and this is a 33 marker immune monitoring panel. Uh, this is for the CyTOF, and I would say these markers pretty straightforward: CD3, CD19, and so on. If we go to Quality Control and click on Labeling Strategies, we can see the different cell subsets that Astrolabe identified, and for each one, a description of how that cell subset was found. And let's pick one of these subsets as an example. Let's look at the naive CD8 T cells, and let's break down the description field. So this is a series of markers. Each one of them is either positive or negative, and they're separated by commas. And every comma is one level or one step of the labeling hierarchy. So in this case, the first step is looking at the, I would say, major lineage markers in this panel: CD3, 14, 19, and 56, and the T cells are CD3 positive. Then the next comma talks about CD4 and CD8. And notice that these markers would only be investigated for these cells that are already CD3 positive. So Astrolabe is breaking them down to CD4 negative, CD8 positive. These are the CD8 T cells. Finally, there's two more steps for identifying whether the cells are effector or whether the cells are memory or naive, and whether they're effector or non-effector. So CD45RA and CD27 answer these two questions. So overall, to find the naive CD8 T cells, Astrolabe is going to examine a total of 8 different markers, and based on the different steps, label these cells. One last thing I want to mention here is that we have another column called compartment, and this is for the major compartment for the subset. So for example, all the T cells fall under the T cell compartment, the NK cells are under NK cells, the monocytes, and finally the B cells. Here's another example, and this experiment is a bit more complicated. If we look at the channels tab, you will notice that some of the channels use double dipping into markers. So for example, the 169 channel has both IgD and CD8, and this strategy was chosen by the researchers because these markers should never appear on the same subsets. IgDs are markers for B cells, CD8s are markers for T cells. And once again, we can go to the labeling strategy to see the different rules that Astrolabe is following here. So first of all, we're deciding whether the cells are T cells or non-T cells, and we're doing that using CD3. So the T cells are all CD3 positive, the other cells are all CD3 negative. Then within the T cells, we break them down into either gamma delta T cells, NKT cells over here, or neither. And then finally, we're using CD4 and CD8 to identify these as CD4 and CD8 T cells. So hopefully this gives you some idea on the Labeling Strategies tab in Astrolabe and how it can help you better understand the decisions that the platform has done in classifying or annotating or labeling the different cell subsets in your experiment. As always, if you have any questions, please reach out to us. We are at support@astrolabediagnostics.com. And finally, please make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel and to our page on LinkedIn. The links are at the bottom, and that will guarantee that you're up to date on all of the latest videos. Thank you for your time and have a great day.